Welcome to another program of Capucchino Financiero with Sid Valian, also known as Jimmy Guerrero. I've been in banking for 25 years with the big boys. And I decided to do a community service program because the industry is not going to tell you really the secrets of money management and where you should put your money and so forth. So this program is for you. And also this program is for you, the small business owner that has a dream, but really don't know where to go, to the left, to the right, to the center. You don't even know who to talk to, where to knock doors, who to call to get your startup going. So Capucchino Financiero is for you, the small wannabe business owner or the small business owner, and for you, the consumer who wants to know, how come I'm paying the minimum payment on my credit cards and I still owe $1,000 on my $1,000 credit card? Well, there are some principles in force that I'm not going to tell you. In Capucchino Financiero, we're going to take the veil. We're going to take the curtains and make you a better consumer. And we're going to help you, if you're a small business owner, realize your dreams. Muy buenos días, bienvenido a Capucchino Financiero. Les habla Sid Valian, también conocido como Jimmy Guerrero. Este es un programa para ustedes, los pequeños empresarios, para los consumidores que quieren saber los secretos de cómo manejar mejor su dinero. Y también para los pequeños empresarios que no saben en quién confiar. Capucchino Financiero es para ustedes. So I want to thank Benjamin Celestino and Xavi Herrera, the founders of World Business Society. They're uniting one small business owner at a time through technology. They don't need passport, visas, COVID shots. They do it from their own countries. United small business owners, one small business owner at a time, and bringing smart information to the consumer so they can be successful in managing their money and make it stretch farther. Also, I want to thank my parents, my mom and my dad, Robert and Pat. Without their sacrifice and guidance, I wouldn't be here doing this program today. And my brother who's in heaven, John, who was a small business owner himself, and he's in a better world now. I love you all. This morning, I have the pleasure of having a fantastic, not only a fantastic businessman, professional man, but a fantastic human being. And I'm not going to tell you his bio. He's going to tell you himself because I feel that he can do a better job than I can. Hoy día les quiero presentar a una persona, un invitado muy importante, el señor Greg, que es un hombre de negocio muy importante aquí en la ciudad de Las Vegas y tiene un ministerio que ayuda también a los ex reos. Without further ado, Greg, thanks so much for accepting my invitation. And Capucchino Financiero, I know here in Las Vegas it's 1 o'clock. We're at 40 degrees. It's too hot to drink a cappuccino, but it's okay. We have air conditioning, so no problem. We can still enjoy our coffees. Greg, welcome to Capucchino Financiero. Thanks for accepting my invitation.
No, thank you, sir. I really appreciate you inviting me on. Any way that I can be helpful to anyone who's looking for any kind of information about how to get better with their finances or with their business, then that's my obligation as a business owner, as a person who understands what it takes to own a business and to be successful.
El señor Greg dice que les da la bienvenida y aquí está para ayudarles a ser mejores empresarios y a compartir uno que otro secreto para que sus sueños se hagan una realidad. Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I currently live, as you just stated, I live in Las Vegas, but I'm originally from on the East Coast. I was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland, and grew up there, went to high school there, graduated from high school, and went into the United States Air Force. And from there, I spent actually 8 years in the United States Air Force. And when I got out of the Air Force, I went into the automobile industry as a salesman, grew up through the ranks to become a general sales manager. And while the whole time I was in the business, I started helping people, friends and family. They would say, hey, you're in the business. Can you tell us what to look out for when we go to buy a car, or would you even go with us? So that's how one of my first ventures started, just by people asking me to help them. So From there, I started another business.
Let me translate real quick before we move on. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
El señor Greg es de Baltimore, Maryland, y él entró a las Fuerzas Armadas de Estados Unidos, se retiró y comenzó en el negocio de compra y venta de autos para concesionarias, donde llegó, escaló hasta ser un gerente general de una concesionaria. Muchos años pasó, más de 20 años, y ahora se dedica a ayudar al consumidor a que sea un consumidor más inteligente y no desperdicie su dinero. Go on, Greg.
And then, like I said, that was my first venture into business, but it's one that I had significant success with, not only monetarily, but also just the feedback that I got from people that I was helping, that I was truly making a difference in the purchase and lease of their automobiles.
Dice que tuvo mucho éxito aconsejando a los vecinos, a los amigos, al público en general, en la compra y venta de autos de una manera inteligente. Luego les cuento lo que me pasó a mí. You know, Greg, I wish I'd met you before 3 months ago, like I mentioned to you when you came to the branch, that I lost $4,000 for not knowing how to buy a used car. And it was my fault, buyer beware, as they say. However, had I met you, I know I would have done much better. Lo que le digo al señor Greg es que le hubiera querido conocer hace 3 meses. Compré un carro usado, perdí $4,000 en reparos. Por eso lo traje a este programa, para que nos dé entendimiento y unos tips de cómo comprar de una manera mejor inteligente los carros. So I was translating in Spanish, Greg, was that I wish I'd met you 3 months ago, so I wouldn't have had to spend $4,000 in repairs on a lemon, and I would be a more intelligent buyer, and I would have done a better purchase. So go ahead, Greg, take it away.
All right. And I wish I had met you before the 3 months too, Jimmy. I definitely would have helped you. And you being in the banking and understanding finance, you know, an automobile purchase is just the same thing. You're spending money. And what I did was, when I initially started the company, along with going and with family members and friends to help them negotiate a better deal, what I did was I wrote a handbook from beginning to end on how to purchase or lease an automobile. We have to have the information.
El señor Greg dice que tiene un folleto desde la A hasta la Z, principio a fin, de cómo comprar un automóvil. Go ahead, Greg.
And what I did was, with that booklet, taught it in a workshop, and we went from the very beginning, from how to read your credit report to how to negotiate, how to determine what the pricing of the vehicle is, how to take delivery of the car, step by step. And if you're not armed with that information, you're not going to make good decisions.
Lo que dice el señor Greg es lo que me pasó a mí. Él tiene un folleto, lamentablemente no pude leer yo el folleto, que dice desde el primer paso inicial, cuándo mirar un carro, cómo comprarlo, cómo negociarlo y cómo hacer que te lo entreguen bajo tus términos, no los términos de la concesionaria. Go ahead, Greg.
And once people were armed with that information, they would give me the feedback that they could now go into a dealership and negotiate a better deal, because they had the information that they needed in order to make the right decisions when it came time to negotiate.
Con esa información que te den ese folleto, puedes ir a una concesionaria y comprar el carro que te gusta de una manera inteligente sin perder dinero. Go ahead.
And like I said, I kind of said it backwards, but I would just go with my family and friends when they wanted to negotiate a deal. But then a lot of people would ask me to just go and do everything for them. They did not want to go to the dealership. They did not want to spend hours with someone that they knew that was trying to take advantage of them. So they said, would you go and negotiate for me and bring the car back to me?
Entonces, lo que el señor Greg dice, que la manera en que llegó a ser un personaje influenciante en la compra y venta de coches, es que sus amigos y vecinos no querían negociar con las concesionarias, porque sabían que ellos, en vez de venderle un carro, les vendían un carro por el precio de dos, porque no sabían negociar. Así que él fue forzado a entrar en este negocio de consejero de compra y venta de carros.
And that's the services that we offer now. Basically, we can either teach you how to do it yourself if you feel strong enough and comfortable enough with going in and negotiating, or if you don't, we will go in and do it for you, and you still get the same result. You get the best deal at the best price and the car that you wanted, not something that you didn't want that you're overpaying for.
Entonces, de esta manera compras un carro bajo tu presupuesto, no bajo el precio de ellos. Y aquí tienes el teléfono de Greg, 1-202-330-3635, 1-202-330-3635. Si tienes preguntas, necesitas ayuda, Greg te puede ayudar a negociar ese carro que tú te quieres comprar. Go ahead, Greg. Now, my second question to you is this. You also do some community work. I know you were telling me about a program that you have going in Las Vegas right now. Tell us a little bit about that.
I'd love to. Thank you, Jimmy. My wife and I started in 2018, a nonprofit, and the name of it is Good Crooks. And it's a little bit of a story behind how we developed the name, but what it ended up morphing into was Good Crooks is oxymoron. You can't be a good crook unless you get caught giving. And that's what we decided to do with the name. Started helping selling clothing, taking the proceeds from the clothing and giving it back to the homeless, veterans, people with substance abuse and mental health.
El señor Greg y su señora se dedican a ayudar a ex soldados veteranos de guerra, no solo a ellos, sino también a los desamparados, en temas de ropa, en temas de vivienda y muchas cosas más. Y él empezó esta fundación, esta organización, esta ayuda social comunitaria en 1990, fíjense ustedes. Now, Greg, I have a question for you. You know, in my career in banking, I've seen both sides of the coin. I've seen of the wannabe startups, they know how to make money, but unfortunately, they don't know what is a business plan. They don't know what is budgeting. They don't know if they're in the beginning, in the middle, or the end cycle of a business. And then I see the other coin where they don't have the capital, but they have the know-how. And when the bystanders that want to be startups or small business owners see both sides of the story, they get confused. They don't know what to do because of the lack of trust. What advice do you have for somebody that wants to be an entrepreneur? Either they have the money or they don't have the money, but they have the know-how. What advice do you have for them to gather the strength to actually get to do something before it's all over?
Jimmy, that's a great question. And the first answer I'll give you is to log on to this YouTube channel, because this is where you'll get that information if you're not sure about where to start. But there's two answers to both of those questions, to that one question. But if you have the money, then you need to know where to put that money in order to make the business work and get started. Most people don't know. They don't know that they have to, depend on what the business is, get some type of license, get some type of insurance, and then maybe even just develop the product. So it's almost like a business is a natural progression. If you've got an idea for a product, but you don't have the product, then you've got to use that money to develop and get the product so you can put it in people's hands.
Lo que dice el señor Greg es que si tienes el dinero, tienes que saber qué producto vas a ofrecer. Y no solo saber qué producto vas a ofrecer, sino cómo hacerlo. Investigar, hablar, informarte, porque tú sabes que el conocimiento es poder. Y Capucchino Financiero es una granito de arena chiquito que te ayuda a dar el conocimiento que ocupas, de dónde abrir las puertas del conocimiento para que tú tengas una idea mejor de cómo empezar tu negocio. Now, Greg, you also have other business ventures going. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, I would love to. I'm so excited to share this with you, Jimmy. Back in 2017, I took a job because I had sold a business, and I took a job because I just wanted to be around people. I'm a people person. person. So I took a job at the Wynn Hotel as a parking ambassador. And what that was, it was they were starting to charge for self-parking, but they needed people to help the consumer understand how to use the equipment, where to put your credit card, where to put your ticket, where to put cash. So I took that job. And as a result, within 3 months, I learned as much as I could about the way the machines operated. And the company that installed the machines, they hired me away from the Wynn to be a system specialist. That was the beginning.
Miren, mi querida audiencia, cuando hay astucia, este señor Greg consiguió un trabajo en uno de los casinos que se llama Wynn. Él era un embajador de estacionamiento de coches, un portero de coches, y aprende cómo funcionan las máquinas donde van los recibos de entrada y salida de los estacionamientos. Y aprende tanto este conocimiento que la compañía, la empresa que hace esas máquinas, le da trabajo como representante y él renuncia el trabajo de portero para ahora ser un empresario, un contratista independiente. Miren el poder de la mente, ¿dónde está? That's amazing, Greg. So, are you still doing that? Or this is exciting.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you exactly, as a result of doing that, this year, I did it for that one company for about 3 or 4 years. I learned everything I could. And then I launched my own company, and I'm a contractor to that company now. And this month, we just signed 3 contracts with 3 other companies to provide maintenance, service, and installation of their parking service systems. And the rest is pretty much history.
De portero a empresario. Este señor ahora ha conseguido 3 contratos para otras 3 compañías que necesitan este sistema de estacionamiento de carros. Ha conseguido 3 contratos para esta empresa que él ahora representa. That's amazing, Greg. It's totally amazing. You know, the power of positive thinking. Yeah, the secret of believing is fantastic. But if there is no plan of action, it gets stuck in a dream. You need both the secret of dreaming, like success, but you also need a roadmap. Because if you don't have a roadmap, how are you going to go from Las Vegas to Disneyland? You might end up in the Tibet, right? Lo que le digo al señor Greg, que soñar es fantástico, el libro Éxito, Success, Éxito es fantástico, pero soñar es una parte. Ponerlo en acción es otra y tener un plan de acción es otra. Now, you know, as you know, Greg, business has the ups and downs, ups and downs. We just went through, humanity went through 2 hellacious years due to COVID, due to the virus, due to COVID-19. As you know, worldwide, businesses shut down. People, unfortunately, some people went to a better world. But we're still here. COVID didn't kill the human race. How were you able to, I don't know if you have family or friends that unfortunately, you know, became another statistic of COVID-19. I have a brother that passed away, unfortunately, due to COVID-19. What helped you during those times of trouble to keep on believing and keep on fighting for your daily living?
Jimmy, that is an easy question to answer, because I just keep believing that things will get better. I'm not a negative person. My mindset is that things will get better, no matter what's going on in our society, no matter what's going on in our world. We are here to get better. And there's other forces that are trying to keep us from getting better. But if we continue on that mindset and that path, just like today, COVID was 2 years ago. I now have a business that's thriving, and things are better. But it's because I believe that they were going to get better and moved in that direction. And today I can sit here and tell you that things are better.
El señor Greg dice, el poder de la fe. El poder de la fe te lleva a sobrepasar cosas tan horrendas como el COVID-19. Él siguió creyendo, manteniendo la fe durante esa época del COVID. Ahora, 2 años después, está mejor que nunca, porque nunca perdió la fe. No te olvides la clave del éxito: soñar, fe y plan de acción. So what are your plans for this year, Greg? I know you have your foundation to help the homeless, to help those in trouble, that getting in trouble and want to change, have decided that, yeah, they deserve a better life, but they have to do something about it. They have to take baby steps to get where they want to be. You have this sensational business or businesses going. What are your plans for the rest of 2023?
The plan for the rest of the year is to continue to doing exactly what is working, which is helping people. There's no better feeling than to help another human being, no matter what their situation is, whether it's a job or they're suffering with substance abuse or mental health, or no matter what. That's the best feeling in the world. So that's an easy answer for me, is continue to help anyone that really needs help. And my real goal is to try to provide more jobs for people who want to work. I don't know if I shared this with you as well. I just became a mentor for another program called Hope for Prisoners, which is here in Las Vegas. And you mentor someone who's newly released from incarceration, help them get their life back in order. And we all have different things in different areas that we need to work on, but we can't work on them until we know what they are. And then once we know what they are, we can take the necessary steps to help them either get their driver's license or find housing, or help them if they have a alcohol or substance abuse problem. Those are the things that I want to do to help other people.
El señor Greg dice que también está involucrado en otro proyecto de ayuda a la comunidad, como es ayudar a las personas que lamentablemente han caído en abuso de sustancias o lamentablemente han tenido que ir a la prisión y han pagado su condena y ahora necesitan ayuda porque no quieren regresar al pasado, quieren enfocarse en el presente, en el futuro, pero necesitan ayuda, necesitan un mentor, cómo llenar una aplicación de trabajo, dónde pedir ayuda para poder tener esas herramientas, para poder sostenerse y trabajar un día a la vez, para poder seguir teniendo su libertad en vigencia. I was just explaining in Spanish what you're doing with that counseling. This counseling, I would say, a vocation that you're doing right now as well, with people that unfortunately have gone through substance abuse, one way or another, unfortunately had to do some time, and they want to change, but they don't know, they don't have the tools to stay free and earn and win one day at a time, a walk in the park, a movie, an ice cream that they didn't have it when they were locked up. But they need a mentor. They need a mentor. They need a mentor. God bless you, man. It's incredible nowadays to find businesses that want to be kind to others, that want to help those that unfortunately are struggling, that unfortunately they have taken a step back in the journey of life, and they're a little confused, they're little down but not out, and they're willing to get up before the kind of thing, but unfortunately they don't have any mentors, any knowledge, any organizations, any places that can knock the door so they can, like you say, get the know-how, the knowledge on how to survive in freedom. You know, how to, sometimes I feel like life is a marathon, one leg at a time. Finish the journey in this adventure called life, but in freedom, both mentally and spiritually. So Greg, I feel blessed that I met you. Now, as you know, I'm back in banking. I was off for around 4 or 5 years away from banking, and now I'm back in banking. And I just thank God that I met you at the branch now in the new employer that I am now with as a banker. And it was like it was meant to be, because before I started Capucchino Financiero, I was the Wells Fargo ambassador in the community, where I taught personal finance in organizations, in small businesses. And as you know, life is full of ups and downs. Sometimes you win the gold medal of life. Sometimes there is a wall and you get lost in the big forest of life, because life is like that. It's full of victories, sometimes defeats, sometimes struggles, but we keep on going through faith, like you say, through perseverance and belief. And that's why I'm banking again. I persevere. I knew I was going to go back into banking. I just needed the opportunity, and thank God that Unified Credit Union gave me that opportunity, and I thank God for that, and I'm very happy I made you there. So lo que le estaba diciendo al señor Greg es que por 4 o 5 años estuve fuera del campo de la banca, esperando una oportunidad para regresar, y gracias a Dios que ahora estoy de regreso en la banca como banquero personal, trabajando para una cooperativa aquí en Las Vegas, una cooperativa de banco. Y si uno persevera, si uno no se rinde, uno continúa en esta maratón, en esta película que se llama la vida, tarde que temprano las cosas, tus sueños se van a hacer una realidad. Greg, what advice do you have to the young people? Some of them believe that just pushing a button through video games or through artificial intelligence world games, they're going to become instant millionaires. And they don't need to learn anything. They don't need to learn any skills. They don't need to learn any math, any English, any career, any knowledge, any vocation. What advice do you have for the young people that think that just pushing buttons is what life is all about?
Well, we both know that that's not the answer. And the suggestion or the advice that I would give to anyone, whether they're young, old, in the middle, we never stop learning. And as a child, as a baby, what does a baby do from the time that the child is born and mom brings the child home? The child starts growing and growing and growing. It grows because you're feeding it. It grows because you're talking to it. It just continues to grow. And I think what happens at a certain point, people stop growing, and they think that I know how to push these buttons. I know how to do this, and I know how to do that. Then maybe my growth is done. But the reality is that every day is a day to opportunity to grow. Every day.
El señor Greg dice que es fantástico saber imprimir botones, pero para crecer como persona, como ser humano, tenemos que crecer, tenemos que aprender, tenemos que seguir progresando en la vida. You know, Greg, in every interview, I have my 5 minutes of financial tips for my audience, because the saddest thing that I find after 50 years in the greatest country that man has ever known in modern times, the United States of America, is that people in the USA, when they retire, right, wrong, or indifferent, the majority seem to retire with $400 in their bank account. Even though maybe they made $250,000, $500,000, some of them even $1 million during their 40, 45 years of productive life. And it wasn't because they did not earn that money. It's because they didn't have a budget, they didn't have a spending plan, and they didn't have a savings plan. No strategy whatsoever. I would say, for those that are watching my program, whether you make $1 an hour, whether you make $100 an hour, save at least 10% of that. Save at least 10 cents on the dollar. Why? Because as you know, there's surprises in life, such as COVID-19, there's layoffs, many other things that happen. I remember working for the biggest savings and loan in the USA. I will not say the name to keep the privacy. All I can tell you is Chase bought us for $5 billion when we were worth $50 million back in 2010. The greatest savings and loan in the USA. I personally experienced the big changes in the economy in the USA as a banker. if you don't save for a rainy day, what's going to happen when you have a flat tire, you being late to work, or you going to the movie, or whatever it is, and you don't even have for a spare tire? That's why you should save 10 cents on the dollar. The other thing is, other statistic that's going to blow your mind, Greg. When you go to XYZ place to get your coffee, that could be $1,500 a year. Think what you could do with $1,500. What if that would be a new sell that you could use to reach more customers, more clients? Or it would be to pay an online training that's going to give you the power and the know-how in making yourself more available for the jobs of the now and the future, and therefore change your quality of life. Uber Eats, I don't have nothing against them. I use them sometimes as well. But if you do that every single day, Monday to Friday, that's $15,000 a year. If you would put those $15,000 in the business, in the stock market, and real estate, in 9 years, you would double. You would double that $15,000. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. That's why I love this program, Capucchino Financiero, because I can give, as a consumer, as a banker, a few tips that can literally change your life. The last tip that I want to give you in this program is credit. The lowest credit score is 350, the highest is 850. Now, if you're start your credit, if you just started applying, you're going to start with the lowest score. Now, how do you get to the highest score? It's going to take time. It's going to take you a year to 2 years. And the worst thing you can do is go apply all over the malls, all over, in this case, in Las Vegas, just to give you an example. Because if you apply in 7 places or more, your credit score next month is going to go down. That's the wrong strategy. Go seek some professional help. Go see the banker of your choice that's going to help you, that's going to explain to you how the credit system works. The other error that I see is that the minimum payment is $25 on the $1,000 credit card, maybe $50 on the $3,000, maybe $110,000 credit card. And the consumer thinks that by paying the minimum, they're bringing down the amount that they lend them. That's incorrect. It's going to take them 40 years to pay that credit card at that level. Think yourself, when you're paying a little bit extra on that credit card, you're paying yourself minimum that 14% that XYZ credit card company is charging you. There's no bank in the world that's going to give you 14% on a savings account. So that extra 25 or 50 that you're paying on that credit card is paying yourself that 14%. Get professional help, get a know-how, because what you want to do is you want part of your money to be in a place, either through business, real estate, the stock market, or some kind of strategy that's going to help you build that money for a rainy day, for a business proposition, maybe to buy your first house, maybe to buy cash your car, and to make reach to the financial institutions. That's why you should save at least 10 cents on the dollar. Greg, it's been such a pleasure. I know you're a busy man. On this Saturday, I took time away from your family, friends, your businesses, your foundations. But thank you so much for being my guest on Capucchino Financiero. This is a work of love that I've been doing for 2 years through World Business Society, uniting one small business owners, one program at a time, worldwide, and also helping the consumer get some financial tips to make sure that the dollar works a little bit harder for them, not the other way around. Lo que le digo al señor Greg, que le doy gracias por haber visitado a Capucchino Financiero, este programa dedicado a ustedes, los consumidores, los pequeños empresarios, para que pueda ese dólar estirarse un poquito más a través del tiempo. Greg, I hope this is not the last time you're in Capucchino Financiero. I hope I can have you in many more programs talking about what to do as a small business owner, as an independent contractor, as a man that shares love with the rest of the community here in Las Vegas through your foundations, through your organizations. Because if anything, COVID told us, we're not going to take it with us. Nothing that's material, we're going to take it with us. And there's nothing better than to be able to make a better community, a stronger neighborhood, a stronger city, a stronger country, one person at a time, by sharing what the good Lord has given us, via knowledge, via our activities.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Greg.
Thank you.
I'll be seeing you at the branch, I know, in
Yes.
the future. Para los que están en Las Vegas, si necesitan ayuda del señor Greg, cómo negociar un carro, si necesitan información, quizás necesitan ayuda porque tienen un familiar que lamentablemente ha abusado de sustancias, lamentablemente ha perdido su libertad, ha perdido su lección y quiere cambiar su vida. El número del señor Greg es 202-330-3335. 202-330-3635. Jimmy Guerrero, Sid Valiant, Capucchino Financiero, aquí en Las Vegas. Estoy trabajando para Unified Credit Union como banquero. Aquí estoy para ayudarles en sus problemas financieros. Mi teléfono es 805-216-1542. A las órdenes. Greg, thank you so much. How do we reach you? I know I said it, but I want you to say it again.
Yep. 202-330-3635.
And summarize some of the things that you're helping the community with, both business-wise and both foundational-wise.
Business-wise, we have You Ought to Know Consulting Services. We have our new company, which is called the Dart Tech. And then we have the foundation, which is called Good Crooks. And that's I'm most passionate about that because we're giving back. You can actually see some of the footage on YouTube at Good Crooks. And that's pretty much it, Jimmy. I just want to thank you for inviting me on and being able to help your fan base and the people who watch your show. This is an absolutely wonderful thing that you're doing, is giving people information, knowledge, and hope. So thank you for inviting me.
No, it's a pleasure, Greg. It's a pleasure that in 110, 15 degrees, you're doing this program with me, of course, through the convenience of air conditioner, that goes without a doubt. But on this Saturday in Las Vegas, there's so much to do, you took this time to visit Capucchino Financiero. We thank you for that. Again, for those who want more information about the buy lease in automobiles, about the programs that are out there to help out those who want to change their lives, that unfortunately perhaps did some decisions that temporarily blocked their mind, and they had to go through the experience of substance abuse because life is not perfect, or maybe they did some time and they want to change. They want to be able to go to a movie, to have an ice cream, to have a walk in the park in freedom, not in four walls. Please reach out to Greg, 202-330-3635. Nuevamente, Jimmy Guerrero, Capucchino Financiero, deseándoles un fin de semana maravilloso. Con tus preguntas de finanzas personales, llámame al 805-216-1542. Thank you, Greg. God bless you, man. Until next program.
God bless you. Thank you.